Was there a third Ghostface killer in Scream 2022 the entire time? Let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie? Name it.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing now.
We're gonna get you. Oh, blood on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we are talking about Scream 2022 leading into Scream 6, so technically a Scream 6 theory update, whatever you want to talk about, but it's also kind of a Scream 5 update at the same time. So, doing a throwback to the early days of KillJoy Jake, and we're kind of doing a Scream 5 update. Now before I get into all that, I'm going to need you guys to like this video and subscribe if you're new here. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps this channel grow too, so I can keep doing these videos in the future. So, getting into this. You might have heard something on the internet already about how there's a third Ghostface killer, how Stu was there the entire time, or something along those lines. That's not necessarily what we're going to be talking about today. I have maybe a very crazier, much crazier theory about a third Ghostface killer, that instead of him being a mastermind, maybe it's a little smaller than that. Maybe it's something a little more insignificant than that, which I feel like would make much more sense. So, first of all, why I even have this theory, why I'm even proposing it, because some people will put this theory out there just to say, like, to excuse some other things about Scream 5 that people didn't like, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't want to talk about those things. If you know what I'm talking about regarding the character of Amber, I just don't feel like commenting on those things. I think it's kind of ridiculous that some people think that Amber didn't kill Dewey, even though we get a very, very clear shot of Richie looking horrified when he thinks his girlfriend is dead, looking at the ghost face that Dewey just shot. I'm 99% sure that was Amber. So I'm really not gonna, I don't want to argue people on that. There's really no, I don't think there is an argument personally. That was Amber. Amber killed Dewey. She even admits it later on in the film. There's no argument there, I don't think. But there is a lot of similarities to the TV show throughout this entire movie, which may not have been pointed out to you yet, because there are a lot of references to the past films and to some of Wes Craven's work, which is awesome, and I love that. But there's also little subtle references to the TV show. In the marketing, when they were, all those pictures of like the cast members holding the ghost face mask, that's very similar to how they marketed the TV show. With the, like people's, how they did it when they were marketing the TV show was the people's faces were like broken and you could see the MTV mask behind their face. So it was a really cool stylistic way to advertise their show. I really liked it. It was cool. But Scream 5 kind of took that concept and copied it a little bit. Copy and pasted it a bit different for the movie, which I appreciate, but it begs the question, are we also going to follow a same structure that the TV show followed? Which in season 2, it was revealed that there was 2 killers the entire time, but the one got away, which I'm not going to reveal who it is. That's already kind of a spoiler in itself if you haven't seen the TV show. I won't reveal who the killers are, although it's been out for a while. Come on. At this point, it's like, if I spoiled it for you, you should have just checked it out. Go watch it. It's the first 2 seasons are fantastic. The third one you can probably skip. Now you might be wondering to yourself, well, Jake, why didn't Richie and Amber say something about a third killer at the end of the film? Why didn't they reveal this character to be the third Ghostface killer? Well, I don't necessarily think, contrary to everyone's belief that there's a mastermind behind Richie and Amber, I think Richie was the mastermind here. Richie was like in charge, running the show, and you already got the dynamic between like him and Amber. They were dating. Gross. She's like 17, dude. That's disgusting. And Amber even has this line about being radicalized. Amber was not the one in charge here. She was kind of doing all the dirty work for Richie. But there's a whole nother aspect to this Ghostface killing spree that's completely different from the past 4 that no one has talked about. The technology aspect. There is a lot of moments throughout this entire movie where Ghostface uses new technology that we have never seen Ghostface utilize in the past. No one is talking about this, and I don't understand why. Who is the only character that did survive the events of Scream 5 that somewhat knows about technology, or at least has promoted it throughout the entire film? Chad Meeks Martin. And what happens to Chad towards the ending of the film in the 3rd act? He gets brutally like stabbed and does survive. But I think the whole point of that scene was to kill Chad. I think the whole point of that was they were trying to kill Chad last minute. It's a bit risky, don't you think, to try and kill this person while a party's going on? And it had to be Amber because Richie wasn't at the party yet. He's just rolling up when we see Chad lying there basically dying and not being able to scream anything. So it was Amber who did it. Why? Why did Amber do that while she was throwing a party at her house? I think it's because Chad wanted out. Now he has that whole conversation with Liv about like, oh, well, I haven't cleared you to be the Ghostface killer yet. I honestly think that's just cover. Like, I think that's just cover for him possibly being a Ghostface killer if my theory is true. But I think the reason he wanted out, I don't think Chad actually did any of the murders in that film. I think the only aspect he brought to the table for the Ghostface killers this time around was the technology aspect. He is a jock, but what we know about him is he is actually kind of intelligent too. Like he tries to pitch this whole like find my fam thing. He's like, hey, we should all get on this so everyone knows where we are. It's a little suspicious, don't you think? We also never get an explanation for how he got those bruises on his arm. Sure, he's an athlete. Maybe it was from football practice. We never see him go to football practice. We never see that. We never got an explanation as to how those bruises got on his arm. What I do think, though, is maybe Chad was actually like an accomplice the entire time, just like giving them the technology to do all of these things. Maybe that's a secret side to his character we don't know too much about. He is in the lineage of the Meeks family, who is like kind of a group of nerds, which is not, I'm not saying that in a bad thing. I'm just saying like maybe Mindy's passion is horror movies and maybe his passion is like technology. Maybe he's really into that. And maybe not so much into the horror as he is into like just the like technology aspect side of things. Like maybe he's a computer geek, I guess is the point I'm trying to get at. We didn't learn too much about his character, so I feel like I'm still able to theorize about stuff like this. Now, if there is a third killer, and if it's someone that survived the last flick, I feel like he's our only option. Mindy is too much of the Randy type character to be the killer. I mean, I know we had in the first Scream, we had Stu accusing Randy of possibly being the killer, but I just don't think that was ever in Randy to be a murderer. He's too much of a geek. He loves these films a lot, but I don't think he's ever gonna go psycho crazy. I mean, sure, Billy and Stu are horror fans. Like, we hear them talking about that, but they have such a sinister edge to them that is undeniable throughout that entire flick. Randy doesn't have that, and neither does Mindy. She's much more like laid back and relaxed and chill. We see, I mean, she's smoking pot and eating Doritos in that one scene in Scream 5 and making out with Francis. I don't think she's the kind of person to go psycho killer. She's a little more laid back. She's chill. She's awesome. I would love to hang out with Mindy Meeks Martin, if I'm being honest. She seems cool. Sam Carpenter, I could see the argument there about, like, you know, she's Billy's illegitimate daughter. Don't think she was a third killer here because she literally kills one of the killers, and it was a big reveal to her that Richie was a killer. She was not the third Ghostface killer. Come on. That's out there. That's reaching a bit, I think. And Tara was bedridden the entire movie. Even though they tried to convince me she was the second Ghostface killer in Scream 5, there was never an instance where I thought she was the killer. She was cleared from the beginning scene, in my opinion. I don't think there's ever one point I could ever have thought Tara could have been the killer. She's not the third Ghostface killer either, and I don't think she had that technology aspect that she would need to bring to the table to be the third killer. I feel like the only person that could be this third Ghostface killer is Chad, and it would make a lot of sense. I don't think he actually did kill anybody yet, but he did assist the Ghostface killers by giving them the technology that they used throughout the film. But what do you guys think? Do you think Chad could be revealed as the third Ghostface killer in Scream 6? Leave me something about it in the comments below. How crazy do you think my theory is today? Thank you all so much for watching this new Scream 6 update. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description below. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.